Calling all male singers, where you at? Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I'm a California girl who just so happens to sing opera, and this video is dedicated to the male voice. I am going to be reviewing and admiring 4 different art songs sung by the male voice. So this first art song that we're going to listen to is called Down by the Sally Gardens. The poem is written by William Butler Yeats, and it will be sung by fabulous tenor Nicolai Gedda.
Nicolai Gedda ends his recital with an Irish song arranged by Benjamin Britten, Down by the Sally Gardens.
So many good things about this video. The first thing I want to say is I love his stance. He has such a cool, calm, and collective vibe going on, and I like how he's leaning up against the piano just ever so slightly. He's got a little bit of swag to his stance, which is really nice to see. And also, you can't really see very definite facial expressions per se because the video is older and it's blurry, but you could tell that his focus is very focused. I also love how he started this piece. The onset was very, very calm. It wasn't very hard or punched or this is the first note I'm singing type of first note. He breathed and the word came out as he was exhaling, which was really nice to see. I also love his consonants. I love that he gave emphasis to the final consonants of words. For example, on the word feet, you could really hear him say the T, feet. And I love those little nuances make such a difference in a piece. I also love how he's saying the word love and actually saying on the consonant V, which is really nice. And I also love how he gave a little bit of a glottal attack on the word garden, which for me, was pleasing to the ear because it put emphasis on that word, which is so important because it's where he met his love. Another thing that I love is the dynamics that he gave. There were very nice subtleties where the end of the phrase ended forte but high, and then the next phrase, he came down so elegantly. It wasn't like you saw him technically change anything. His voice just reset and he came in so naturally from that high note, which was really, really nice to see. Bravo. I'm just admiring today. That's all you're gonna see me doing. All right, let's go on to the next video. This next art song is one of my favorites. It's Morgen by Strauss, and typically I really love hearing a soprano sing this because my favorite rendition is by Justine Norman. However, I hadn't come across this video yet, so I'm really excited to share this with you. This is sung by baritone Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. The accompaniment is so sublime in this. I love this close-up. So good. What I really love about this specific art song is the sense of rubato that you can take as a singer. and how that plays with you and the pianist. This pianist did a fabulous job playing his part, and I love that as a singer, the pianist can play the downbeat, but you don't necessarily have to come in exactly on time. You can take your time coming into the beginning of phrases, which makes this entire piece seem so ethereal and very stretched out in a sense. It's just beautiful. I loved his last phrase. When I was listening, it didn't really click that he didn't take a breath after the word stumm, and most people do, but I liked that he just kept the line going with that particular phrase. I can't not talk about this aria without talking about that last phrase. Und auf uns sinkt des Glückes stummes Schweigen, and upon us will sink the mute silence of happiness. In this particular phrase, you have to look at his shift on his facial. You can see the ever so slightest smile as he starts singing the word sinkt, which means sink. And I feel like in that moment, he could tell that there is some sort of happiness ending to this story that he's telling, which is just so nice to see. You can see the slight lift of his cheekbones when he starts singing sinkt, and it gets a little bit higher when he goes into Glückes, which of course means happiness. Overall, just great performance, and I just loved how the camera zoomed in just midway into this aria because you could really see those facials, and it makes all of the difference. What your face can do to change the entire atmosphere that you're trying to create with the song that you're singing is huge, and he really takes advantage of the stillness of the song, but how much emotion he can emote through just his face. So this next art song is Glücklichen by Schubert, and it's actually going to be sung by the same baritone, Dieskau, but I wanted to bring this video with the same baritone because of the stark difference in art songs. The last art song we just heard was about the happiness of tomorrows and nature and sun. This is a haunting piece. You have to portray 4 different characters very convincingly in order to get out the storyline of this particular song. The characters are the narrator, a son, his father, and the elf king. You should be able to see all 4 different characters when singing this piece. If not, you haven't done the song justice. Also, the piano. Okay, let me stop talking. Let's listen. Oh, to get the evenness of those octaves, so hard. That's crazy. Do you see that shift of creepiness in his eyes? That's so crazy.
ein. Sie wiegen und tanzen und singen dich ein. Sie wiegen und tanzen und singen dich ein. Mein Vater, und siehst du nicht dort, Herr Königswächter am düsteren Rand? Ein Sohn, ich sehe es genau, es scheinen die alten Weiden so grau. Ich liebe dich, mich reizt deine schöne Gestalt, und bist du nicht willig, so brauch ich Gewalt. Mein Vater, jetzt fass mich an, der König hat mir ein Leids getan. Dem Vater grauset's, reitet geschwind, hält in Armen das ächzende Kind. Reicht den Hof mit Mühe und Not. In seinen Armen das Kind.
Creepy! He does such a good job at portraying. Could you clearly see all four characters? I could. Schubert is genius in how he uses the placement of the voice in order to convey different characters. And so you could tell when it was the father because he had this very kind of rich, deep sound. And you could see the crescendo of emotions with the son. At first he's pretty frightened, but that gradually turns into just sheer shock and disbelief and just very scared for his actual life. And then you can even tell of the shift to the narrator. It was genius, but I found it so cool how he portrayed the Elf King. He always sang the Elf King's words on a smile. He has two dimples, and you always saw those dimples when he was portraying the Elf King. It was this creepy look in his eyes, and then that creepy smile. Bravo, he did so well. And kudos to the pianist because that piece is hard. I know it's very easy for your right hand to cramp up while trying to get through the song. Granted, it's only 4 minutes, but 4 minutes of just constant, consistent octave movements, that's really hard. Fantastic. I hope you enjoy this. If you don't know the story of this piece, look it up. It's really interesting. It's pretty haunting. This last final art song is called All Love But a Day, and it is sung by Jesse Bjorkling. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. If you know, let me know down in the comments. But I'm so glad that I found a tenor singing this particular art song. It's freaking beautiful. It's part of a set of 3 pieces. The set is called 3 Browning Songs by Amy Beach, and it's a fantastic little set. And this guy is incroyable. So here we go. Let's just go ahead and listen. Oh yeah, that last final note was really, really nice. This sounds hard in a tenor's voice. I don't know if it's the key or whatnot, but this sounds so hard. I give him credit for the beautiful lines that he's creating. And I love how on the word love, how he puts so much intensity into the word as the note is prolonged, because that word does have the longest note in the piece. I just love how the note went somewhere, and therefore the word actually felt like it was going somewhere, which is so important to hear and to see as well. One thing I do wish, I don't know if it was the recording or not, the quality of the recording obviously has a huge play on how these come out, but I couldn't really hear the final consonants on a lot of the words, and so that's the only thing I wish the only thing that I was really missing. But other than that, my God, this sounds really, really, really hard. And I don't know how he does it, but he does it so well. And when he comes off of his top notes, it sounds so effortless, similar to the first video that we heard. It didn't sound as if he came crashing down on the note after the high note, which is really, really lovely. I also love his oo vowel on the word look. He says, looking. It was so good, and it was so pure. He chose a vowel and he stuck with it for the entire note duration, which is really nice. Overall, great. I'm just so glad that a tenor chose to sing this particular song. I just know so many sopranos who sing it. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. If you loved what you saw, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below on what your favorite art songs are and even who they're sung by. I love running into older recordings like this. They are very hard to come by, so I do like to jot them down and take note of them if I find videos like this. All right, y'all, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon on Friday.